Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Craig Scott,
Here.
Mark Serbrook,
Present.
Ron Vaughn, Brad Newbecker,
Yes.
Jenny David. Here. Item 2, approval of the agenda. I believe we have an addition. We are going to make H, resolution to authorize
Change in work hours.
change in work hours. So that will be our H and I will be claims. Is there any other additions or corrections to the agenda?
Nope.
Commissioners? Can I have a motion?
Motion to accept as present. Support with the change.
We have a motion, Commissioner Vaughn, with support from Commissioner Newbecker to approve the agenda with the stated changes. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3A, July 14th, 2022, regular meeting minutes.
All right, Brad, I'm gonna make a motion to accept them as presented.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Scott with support from Commissioner Serbrook to approve the July 14th, 2022, regular meeting minutes. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3B, July 21st, 2022, Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Newbecker with support from Commissioner Vaughn to approve the July 21st, 2022 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. All in favor, say yes.
Uh,
Opposed?
wasn't that the meeting we talked about the change of the elimination of the committees, the whole meeting next month?
For August.
Did we talk about it in that meeting?
No, we would have actually passed a motion at the last regular meeting to cancel that one.
Yeah, that
Okay.
No, the last regular meeting was just the three of us. And, you know, she wasn't here to talk about.
Yeah, I was there to talk about, because we talked about the fair, so it was at the Committee of the Whole.
it was. I did a resolution for it, or I typed it today. Right here.
Right,
Right here.
for a resolution for today.
Action and consent calendar from 7/14.
For men, oh,
Wasn't last week.
okay, on the 14th?
Yeah, it's been that long ago.
Okay, all right, good, I'm good with it then.
All in favor, say yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Opposed? Item 4, public comment. This is the first of 2 public comments. This is for agenda items only. 1, state your name for the record. 2, speak only to the chairperson. 3, stand behind the podium when speaking. 4, limit comments to 3 minutes or fewer. And 5, follow the direction of the chairperson when speaking. Is there any public comment in the room? Any public comment on the phone? Item 5, we got correspondence from Allegan County, Mecosta County, and Oceana County. Why are they all the auto insurance reform now?
Just their turn.
Okay,
That's all.
we did that a while ago.
We were just way ahead of the curve.
We received and filed those. Item 6, action on the consent calendar. Is there any that you guys feel? There's a couple I did want to discuss. Do you guys want to take these individually, or do you want to take these? Do you want to combine any of them?
I'm fine. We'll do them individually, yes.
Item 7A, resolution to authorize purchase of hazardous material electronic tracking program. This resolution is sponsored by the Emergency Management Coordinator, Mike Bowers. Housing hazardous chemicals compose an immense risk to workers, the environment, and surrounding communities. It is essential to track hazardous chemicals and to know their specific quantity and location to ensure the safety of surrounding communities and to meet obligations under the Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act. Approval of this resolution will authorize purchase of the 1 Tier 2 managed enterprise license at a total annual cost not to exceed $150 with funds available through the fiscal year 2021 hazardous material emergency preparedness grant.
Motion to adopt the resolution is presented.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook with support from Commissioner Vaughn. Is there any discussion on that? Roll call vote.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Ron Vaughn,
Yes.
Brad Newbecker,
Yes.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Craig
Yes.
Scott.
Item 7B, resolution to authorize purchase of automated external defibrillators. I think we all kind of understand that. With the total maximum cost for all 3 units is $3,000. Funding for the purchase is available through the fiscal year 2020 Homeland Security Grant.
Make a motion to adopt resolutions.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook with support from Commissioner Newbecker. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote.
Ron Vaughn,
Yes.
Brad Newbecker,
Yes.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Craig
Yes.
Scott, Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Item 7C, resolution to authorize negotiation of a letter of understanding with Teamsters Local 214 Corrections Unit. This resolution is sponsored by the Board of Commissioners. An agreement was reached between representatives of Ogemaw County Sheriff, and Teamsters Local 214 Corrections Unit for the period of October 1, 2021 through September 30th, 2024. The collective bargaining agreement outlines a negotiated continuation of benefits policy that states in part, the county shall continue to provide hospital and medical insurance benefit for each employee for the duration of an approved leave of absence or for 6 months, whichever is less. A member of the union on an approved leave of absence has reached the 6-month cap, but is physically unable to return to work. Approval of the resolution will direct the county administrator to negotiate a letter of understanding with Teamsters Local 214 to extend the employee hospital and medical insurance benefit for an additional 90 days while the employee explores options for alternative coverage. Can you explain?
This is what was just read to help this particular employee who's reached the cap on the maximum on the health insurance benefit under the union contract. I did have a conversation with the union business agent after our committee of the whole meeting. The union is fully supportive of this. It's a matter of the two of us getting together to create the physical document. His schedule didn't allow us to have that ready for tonight's meeting, and so that's why the resolution is worded the way it is. He did agree that this would not be precedent setting. He actually had a new clever word for it that I can't remember, so I'll have to make sure to jog his memory on it. But they do recognize that this is an isolated incident. And of course, I think everybody realizes if we had another employee with exactly the same circumstances, in all likelihood, the same thing would happen. But what this does, then it will allow the employee at least another 3 months to explore what other options might be available. There may be none, but we've got to at least check the box. If there are other options, it was mentioned at committee of the whole that maybe it's either Medicare or Medicaid, one of those two might kick in. That would be great. We need to look into that. So this will give us an opportunity to make sure the employee is covered if it's needed beyond the 90 days. And if not, we could very well be back here talking about it again, but at least we'll have those answers in our pocket and ready to go.
This is specific for that individual.
It is, yes.
Questions?
Make a motion to adopt resolution. It's presented.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook
I'll support.
with support from Commissioner Becker. I am in full support of any discussion? I am in full support of this, but unfortunately, I'm going to abstain from voting. I know this individual personally and professionally. Therefore, I don't feel it's appropriate for me to vote on this.
Well, it doesn't benefit you in any way, does it?
I cannot get into any detail, but on a professional level, it may.
Okay.
Any further discussion on this?
You hold up on the vote for just a second. I'll look at the rules of procedure, and if you're going to abstain, we might have to have the board vote to recognize that.
I think you're right. We're gonna have to.
We've done it before.
Yeah, we've never done that before.
Yeah, these are relatively.
Yeah, we did it.
Pass. Topic.
We've done it before.
All right, so your rule number 11.1, whenever a question is put by the chairperson, every commissioner present shall vote on the question. No member present shall abstain from voting yes or no unless excused by a majority vote of those present.
We have to have a motion for me to abstain. I don't feel on a
She vote
professional level
on-
that this is appropriate for me to vote on.
What is the determining factor whether we say yes or no? Like, what standing do we have?
All you're voting on right now is if you agree that there's a conflict. And your standard is, or standard, whatever that is, I can't tell you that.
Does she vote?
Yes, everybody would vote.
Okay. So
Does she have to make the motion or
Anybody can make the motion.
I'll make the motion.
I support it?
Motion is whether you can
to abstain.
yes to abstain, no to not to.
Even though I am in full support of this, I just don't feel like on a professional level, I should vote on this.
So you're making it, Brad, seconding it. This one comes before. Okay. I'm ready.
Any further discussion? Roll call, vote.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
No,
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Ron Vaughn.
No.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Any further discussion on the resolution for 7C? Roll call vote.
Craig Scott,
no,
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Ron Vaughn,
Yes.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7D, resolution to submit to the electorate a special millage question for authorization of funding for emergency dispatch services. This resolution is sponsored by the Board of Commissioners. Ogemaw County provides funding for emergency dispatch service to the Ogemaw County residents in part through a special voted millage. County voters previously supported a 0.75 mil special tax to fund emergency dispatch operations, which includes equipment, facilities, maintenance, and other operational costs. That millage will expire on December 31st, 2022. Approval of the resolution will authorize a ballot question to be placed before voters of the county on November 8th, 2022 to determine whether or not they desire to continue to raise funds for the purpose of the continued operations of emergency dispatch services by renewing and restoring an ad valorem property tax levy of 0.75 of 1 mil for a period of 5 years, 2023 through 2027 inclusive.
Motion to accept the resolution as you just presented it. Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Vaughn with support from, who supported it?
Brooke.
We got Serbrook. You're a little slow, Brad, but you were close. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? I am in support of this. However, my vote will be based on, I didn't feel like I was given adequate information to make an educational decision as far as where they stand at a financial standpoint. Currently, I am in favor of this service, but that is my reasoning for that. So any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Jenny David,
No.
Craig Scott,
Yes,
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Ron Vaughn,
Yes.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Item 7E, resolution to accept a bid for snow removal and seasonal maintenance services. We only got one on this. We already talked about this. The price went up pretty significantly, but we're anticipating it's fuel related.
Certainly seems to be,
I would move to the services for next year.
or
We have a motion from Commissioner Newbecker with support from Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mark Serbrook,
Yes.
Ron Vaughn,
Yes.
Brad Newbecker,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
yes,
Scott,
Item 7F, resolution to approve harassment in the workplace policy. I think we've talked about this one enough. I don't need to read all that. Any questions on this? Anything to add to it, Tim?
it's just kind of the wording. Resolution to approve harassment. in the workplace. Wow.
I see you did. I'm sorry. Did we have a motion and then I'll ask?
I'll make the motion that we adopt the resolution as presented.
I'll support that.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook with support from Commissioner Vaughn. Is there any discussion? I did see, and you highlighted that the commissioners aspect was the personnel committee, correct?
Right.
And there's 2 commissioners on there?
Yes.
Okay. And that changes annually or more frequently if needed?
That's your call, but typically annually.
Okay. That was the only thing on there that I picked up on.
And we can opt out if we want to,
The elected.
as elected officials.
You may, but we'll chat about the wisdom of doing that and what to do in the alternative.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote?
Ron Vaughn.
Yes.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Item 7G. Resolution to authorize adjustments to the fiscal year 2022 Ogemaw County Child Care Fund budget. I'm gonna read this, just this is quite a bit of money. This resolution is sponsored by the probate court on September 29th, 2021. The Board of Commissioners adopted resolution 21-150 to approve general appropriations for the fiscal year 2022 and has authorized certain amendments since that time. The Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act requires a local units of government to maintain a balanced budget and periodically adjust the budget to reflect revised revenue and expenditure levels. It is necessary to adjust the child care fund budget as a result of updated revenue and expenditure projections, fund transfers, reappropriations, accounting and contractual changes, errors and omissions, and additional appropriation needs. Approval of this resolution will allow for additional reimbursement from the state while reducing overall child care fund expenditures by $36,000. Can I get a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve as presented. Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook with support from Commissioner Newbecker. Any discussion? I think the judge presented this pretty well, the committee of the whole. Any discussion? Anything to add?
It's a reduction, not an increase. That's a good thing.
Anything to add to that, Tim?
Well, also, as Michael LaFave has recategorized some of the expenses, it allows more reimbursement from the state even, so it's good all the way around. A little bit more revenue coming as well.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Craig Scott. Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Ron Vaughn.
Yes.
Item 7H, so you did have it on here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read this just because this is new. This was new as I was reading this last night. This resolution to authorize change in hours of work. This resolution is sponsored by County Clerk Breck Giltner. An agreement was reached between representatives of Ogemaw County, the prosecuting attorney, the county clerk, and the county treasurer and the Register of Deeds in the United Steelworkers Local 8569 for the period of October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2024. The collective bargaining agreement outlines a negotiated hours of work policy in section 11.3 that states in part, the workday for office and day personnel shall be anywhere from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the employer's discretion. Section 11.3 further states that when necessary and upon approval of the Board of Commissioners, hours of work for employees may be changed to accommodate the public or other governmental units. As a chief election official, the Ogemaw County Clerk presides over every election held in Ogemaw County, including the August 2nd primary election. Approval of this resolution will authorize clerk's office employees to work beyond 7 p.m. on August 2nd, 2022 at the discretion of the county clerk. Would you like to explain, clerk?
Yeah, it takes probably, well, it takes minimum 5 people to work in my office on election night. But we are going to have 6 because I'm immobile. And we need people that can stay after 7. We'll probably be here until 2, 3 in the morning, so we approve so we don't get in trouble from the union.
So this is specific for this day, this day. Oh, I'm sorry.
I tweaked the resolution a little bit as I was mulling it over, rather than bring this back to you before every election. What you have in front of you tonight is a resolution that says that this would be effective on designated election days, of which there are 3 under state statute, and there are also provisions if there are special elections. So if there's been an election day designated, then this gives the clerk the discretion to go ahead and operate after that 7 p.m. Timeframe. And we don't have to come back, at least for the duration of the contract, to do this again. So this be blanket cover all those elections, and hopefully it becomes routine.
Any other question? Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Serbrook, support from Commissioner Bond. Any discussion on this?
I will add that they do get comp time for this, so they,
Why not just pay them? We have to pay the comp time out in overtime anyway. We just pay them for the time.
Actually, that's at the employee's discretion.
So, yeah, it's up to them, we get overtime content.
Well,
Up until they hit that ceiling, whatever that count time ceiling is, and if they hit that ceiling, then it's automatically. Correct?
well,
That's
overtime
true,
is
but they
40
can't.
or over.
Right. Well, that's the overtime. They'll get obviously paid between 35 and 40 as well at straight time. But the way the rules work is if the employee wants to take that in overtime pay or straight time pay, whatever they want to be paid, instead of taking comp time, we pay them. But that'll be at the discretion of the employee.
Any further discussion? That's next week.
Yes, it is.
Roll call vote.
Jenny David,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
yes.
Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Ron Vaughn.
Yes.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Item 7I, claims. So the big one
I reviewed the claims.
is the total cost. I'm looking at it's $215,820.10. Is that correct? Looking at this right? Yeah. Amount approved.
I've got,
Who reviewed them?
I did
Okay.
And I did.
appropriations, district, excuse me, district health was 32,397. That was part of that. The commissioner's line, the MAC was part of that. Indigent council, lawyers, Parks and Rec, fencing was 32,685. Comes out of their account. Sheriff's Department, some of that was fuel and tires. Apparently there was a dog harness spot for K9. That was the expense on that line. And then treasurer's office, there was 24,000 for title checks. That was all the big ones.
And there was one for travelers for 14,457. Building department, there was $13,440 for BSNA for their annual support. Out of the COVID CESF account, $6,999.50 for air purifiers and filters.
So what I'm looking at right now, like, I guess we had to get them for our office too. Where did those go exactly? We have,
It was Leanne Ross that signed it, so I would assume it's the courts.
okay. So that's all reimbursed, right? Part of
Actually,
It was a grant, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Partners in change.
Those are the other ones that jumped out at me besides the ones Ron mentioned.
Travelers, it was lawsuits,
Travelers was 14,457.
lawsuits.
I don't remember the exact breakdown of that travelers. Do you, Ron? I do. I wrote down the dollar amount.
Brad's got it.
$3,100 appropriation lawsuits. Yes. Looking at it, the partners in change too, that $10,000 that for the
That
counseling
one's always
services.
up there in the child care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always a biggie.
Any other questions?
Motion to accept as presented.
I would support that.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mike Scott. Mark Serbrook.
Yes.
Ron Vaughn.
Yes.
Brad Newbecker.
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes. Item 8, any unfinished business, commissioners? Administrator?
Nope.
Item 9, administrators report.
Start out by pointing out in the Google Drive, we do have a folder that's titled FY 2023 recommended budget. And in that folder, you'll find the recommended general fund budget, the designated fund budgets. Those are all your special funds, as well as 4 draft resolutions. You may as well start looking at those now. These are resolutions you'll be asked to adopt in September after we've been through the budget process, including the appropriations resolution, which a lot of that's pretty standard to you now, but you'll see all of the millage rates listed in there. So you can start thinking about that, as well as the various pay resolutions that we do each year. To be added probably tomorrow, because it's nearly finished, is the draft position allocation list. There's no surprises in there. I'm just formatting it right now, but that will list all the positions that are tied to the budget. I did want to suggest to you tonight that we have the special meeting scheduled for August 12th. If you'll take a few moments to go through these budgets and specifically note departments that you would like to have come in on the 12th, we can make that meeting run very efficiently. So the sheriff's in the room, so we'll take on him. If you want to look at the sheriff's budget, or if you have questions, let me know. I will get with the sheriff, make sure he's in attendance on the 12th so that he can answer the questions directly about his budget. And there will be, there are a couple of them that I'll be asking to come in as well. But we then give everybody notice well in advance that we need them at the meeting so that we can work through whatever issues that we might have. Another item that you'll see, another folder that you'll see, roughly the same area. During one of our conversations on the administrative evaluation, there was a question about seeing job descriptions from other counties. We've loaded 11 job descriptions under the folder. It's titled Administrator Job Descriptions, appropriately enough. So you walk through those and read them. I would only suggest that as you're reading through some of them, and we'll use Roscommon County as an example, that position is actually an administrator controller. So you're going to see things in there in that responsibility list that are not in mine. That's by design. So you'll see in there probably a reference to oversight of the general ledger, reference to oversight of payroll and benefits and so on. We have a little different of a structure here where those things don't occur. So just keep that in mind, but they'll stand right out to you. I don't think you'll be thrown off by them, but there are a couple of them that are like that. Now, thinking ahead, we talked about the election next week already, but we do know that we're going to have at least 2 new persons sitting up here as commissioners. So I've taken initiative to already set aside Friday, October 14th for a new commissioner training here in this room. Already arranged to have Matt Nordford from Cole Stoker and Toski come in to talk about some of the legal obligations of commissioners. I will then go over what we've done with the budget. We'll go over collective bargaining and how that works. We'll talk about the roles and responsibilities of the board and the coordination with elected officials and how all that works. Probably take a couple of hours to do that. And of course, veteran commissioners are welcome to attend as well. This will be, I think, a good prelude to the statewide new commissioner training that goes on probably in December, maybe late November. MSU Extension puts that on annually, but we can send our people to that new commissioner training armed with a little bit more knowledge about what's happening here in Ogemaw County. Maybe you can ask some questions directly of those presenters as well. I want to do everything we can to make sure that any new commissioner is ready to go on January 1. Yeah, I mean, I realize it'll probably take still a few weeks at least to get their footing, but they're coming in with some knowledge about what's going on around them, and it won't all be foreign. Maybe even a meeting where we'll invite department heads as well. I mean, it's good information all the way around about how counties operate. So October 14th is our tentative date for that. No, I've talked to a couple of you about this, only because I was very surprised, but as our attorney, Don Kohanik, was going over the unemployment case that we've talked about, we came to realize that we were one of two counties, count them, two counties out of 83 that was making advance payments for our unemployment insurance instead of making our payments on a reimbursement basis. I didn't even think to question that because everybody that I've ever worked with has done this on a reimbursement basis. What that means is if we ever do have a situation of layoffs in the county will be billed for reimbursement for those unemployment bills that the state ends up paying versus the way we're doing it now is there's a formula, they decide how much we pay and we pay it and that's it. Well, we don't even have anybody that's been laid off, so
Yeah.
continue to pay. So I've initiated the process with the unemployment agency to switch us over to the reimbursement method as opposed to the contribution method. Not only save us money, but will prevent issues like what we're dealing with from occurring again.
We have a credit with them? I mean, we've been paying all this money in for years, I take it,
Forever, yeah.
forever. And we haven't laid anybody off, so
Is there a bank?
is there a bank of money
We have savings
someplace
account?
or we've been funding in some other county?
I'm not that far into the process to know, but I'll certainly keep my ears peeled and find out.
I'll give you the address and you send a check to.
Yeah. All right. I did want to bring you up to date on
Everybody thought they were gonna get laid off.
as part of our auction process, when we look at our surplus property, some of the surplus property frankly is junk. And with Mary's help and the undersheriff's help here a couple of weeks ago, a lot of that junk was scrapped out and we ended up getting a check, well, two checks, but totaling $441.93 for some of our scrap metal. And they literally did the physical labor to get that loaded onto a trailer provided through the undersheriff and got a lot of things cleaned out. Now, we've still got stuff to do, but we're making some, I think, good headway. So between the auction and getting rid of the stuff that really isn't going to be used anymore, we had 2 new boxes brought to us last week of trays and things, but we're making progress. So that was a very good thing, and certainly want to ensure Mary and the undersheriff get credit for the work they did on that. 2 last things, our annex building repair bids are due tomorrow. It does appear we'll get at least 1 proposal, so that's a good thing. That'll be on the agenda for next committee of the whole to go over. Not quite sure what to expect because I do know the prices on a lot of things have gone up since our original estimate. So we'll see where that ends up. Also, on that same agenda, Steve Curry, who was scheduled to be here tonight, Executive Director of Michigan Association of Counties, will be here at 9 o'clock on the 4th, and we'll talk about Michigan Association of Counties. And just coincidentally, you saw the dues bill on the claims tonight, so
We should have held off until we got here.
so that's all I've got.
Did you happen to make it out to the high banks or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay,
Tomorrow's Friday.
so I'd ask. Okay,
High bank.
any questions?
Friday.
High Bank Friday.
Item 10, elected officials and department head reports. Clerk?
Yeah, just the election. That's pretty much what's going on right now. Anybody that would like to reach out to their township clerk, they all should have 8 hours scheduled this weekend before the election. If you have any questions on your absentee ballots or turning in an absentee ballot, any issues like that, they can be contacted. I am still working remotely, mainly probably for 3 weeks. And then we'll go from there. But I've been in and out. I will be there the day before the election, the day of the election, and then we're canvassing the election at 1 o'clock on my birthday, the day after.
It's a bad time.
And then I'm taking time off.
It's a bad timing for this.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, so where, just so people can hear, I guess, where do they follow results at? Where?
So we are going to have the results on our county website, so they can log on to ocmi.us. There's a tab election results. They are going to be called into a couple of the different TV stations throughout the night, but probably preliminary half results won't be up until 10:30 or 11 o'clock, to be honest.
PM.
Yes,
Okay.
and we will probably be here until 2 or 3 a.m. And then Judge Williams is also going to help us election night too.
Will your office be open on Wednesday?
Yeah. Yeah,
Somebody will be here.
everybody,
If everybody's gotta stay till 2 in the morning?
we gotta, yeah. We always have.
Okay.
Thank you. Sheriff.
Good evening. I just got a couple things. The undersheriff and I were very, very fortunate to present life-saving award to Richard Hoffman, who was a correctional officer at our jail. We actually got somebody that was gonna hang himself, so got him off there, and we got EMS en route, and got him transported to EMS. He was treated there and then came back to his house where he was temporarily housed over there. So, and next week, we're gonna present another life-saving award to Matt James, who basically did the same thing. So that's up and coming. We just got to schedule that. So, yeah, our correctional staff are doing great over there. That's all I have. And if you, once you walk out of here, if you look up at our parking lot up there, you can see the brand new white van that we got so straightened up. It's good sharp. And I parked that right there just for you.
Thank you.
So you see it.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any questions?
Did you have something under
Yeah,
sheriff?
I just wanted to add something real quick, for Tracy in the clerk's office, the payroll system is coming along. It's been a challenging endeavor, but this past payroll went pretty smooth. So Tracy has done a phenomenal job in getting us all on board and getting it up and running. It's keeping track of all the leave times and comp time, and so it was a challenge. It took a lot of work to get all the employees up to speed, but they're all doing well, and much kudos to Tracy and all her hard
Yeah,
work.
she did say that this week was by far the best week, that once she got everybody's information, it was smooth.
Probably took a lot of stress and work off of you, correct? I mean, now that it's.
Now it's starting to flow,
Running.
you're starting to see the benefits of, once your first line supervisors go through it, and the second level review, by the time it gets there, it's gonna be a good thing, but it's nice to finally get the smoothness down. And
Yeah.
I think we're ready to move forward with it
Good.
for some good reports and stuff. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't think there's any other elected officials in the room. Any MSU? I see you on the phone. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, hi, good evening. I appreciate so much Tim mentioning the new county commissioner training. The timing he has is right. And I expect that those dates and times and locations will be announced following the primary. But there will be a session in Grayling and also one in Frankenmuth. So those may be the closest locations for individuals to choose from. I think the cost is going to be right around $100. And that includes all of the expenses of the in-person experience, as well as any materials. We are really excited about that. We also are getting ready for Ogemaw County Fair, the 16th through the 20th. And we were just out cleaning the 4-H cabin behind the horse barn yesterday and getting it ready and spruced up. And we're getting ready definitely. And so are all the volunteer leaders and the youth participants for a great fair experience. Yeah, it's an exciting time of year for us in the summertime when all of this is happening. And really appreciate all of your support for all of those activities and look forward to working with you. Please let me know if there's any questions I can answer for any of you about our work with Extension. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Any other elected officials? I don't believe on the phone. Item 11, matters from the floor. I don't believe there are any. Motions for adoption, item 12, item 13, committee reports, Commissioner Vaughn.
The only meeting I had was District Health up in Harrisville with Commissioner Serbrook the other day. Monkeypox was mentioned again. There was a couple prospective people in the state, but as of yet, really nobody, they're saying that there's no cases. They had a little bit of talk about the new COVID virus, I guess, that's, I don't want to say
The new variant.
that's just come out. They said it spread pretty easily, you know, they're again suggesting masks but they said before it's over, everybody will end up with it anyway, so. I don't know what good that'll do, but, other than that, it was business as usual pretty well.
Roof building there.
Oh, yeah, there's,
Discussion about that.
yeah, they're taking bids on,
They're gonna put out an RFP for a new roof on the
roof on the district health
current building. Then there was a.
and their
I'm
garage.
gonna give a report in a minute.
He was at district health, but I was helping him out.
Just what I asked.
It can be a-
That's all.
Anything else? Any Commissioner Newbecker?
I had airport, but I didn't make it to that one because I was at a benefit. So
Nothing?
nothing.
Commissioner Serbrook, your turn. You have the floor.
Out to the airport, by the way, just so you know, for Craig. Again, Ryan talked with, I'll jump to district health even though I started at the beginning of my list, but district health. They're looking at having to put a new roof on the building and on the garage there, and I think they were about $40,000.
Yeah.
The ballpark estimate for that was. They're gonna submit RFPs for that, and then there was a fire at the West Branch building as well.
Well, it was,
They headed it off before it became a full blown fire. There was an electrical issue. They tracked it down to the furnace, and I believe Denise sent out an email, and the repair cost on that was like $16,000. If I'm not mistaken. From Wise, he included they had an employee at one time that evidently did some unauthorized modification for this. And that's what they think caused the issue. So I attended West Branch City, pretty much as business as usual for the city. Pretty fast meeting. I attended the road commission on behalf of Commissioner Scott because he was unable to make it because of the same benefit that Brad just mentioned. They've got some ongoing road projects. They're gonna be, Ogemaw Township's got some big projects coming down the road, big ones. I also covered airport. They're looking at putting a roof on a hangar, new roof on the hangar, and I believe it was about $27,000, I believe, from it's a Duralast roof they're gonna put on it. And then they also had a RFP for new consultants at the time of the meeting, and they only had one bid, which is their current consultant, whom they're very happy with. So Craig could probably elaborate on that. Because I believe that those were supposed to be in on Friday. I believe it was. Meeting was Wednesday. They only had one back at that time. Anyway.
On the pizza lunch.
Hmm?
Apparently you
Are
were.
you on the team thing too?
I was.
Well, let him give the
She
report.
was on Zoom. Attended EMS. EMS is sponsoring a blood drive on August the 17th. If anybody's interested, from 8 a.m. to noon. They prefer appointments, but walk-ins are welcome
Where at?
at the EMS building
Okay.
here in West Branch. I attended Sting board meeting this morning over in Tawas with the sheriff. They have a new detective sergeant on the team with the retirement of Detective Sergeant Veltman. So he's a veteran of the drug enforcement teams. He comes to us from downstate, but he's a real go-getter from everything we understand. Lieutenant Short, post commander to the West Range Post here, worked with him and spoke very highly of him, so it's goes, and they hit the ground running, so. Methamphetamine, fentanyl, combined with heroin are the big drugs hitting everybody. So it's out there, folks. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Commissioner Scott?
Planning commission was last night. We had a public hearing on a zoning change from B3 to agricultural to allow a duplex to be built in Mills Township. And it was voted on and passed. We reviewed a site plan for a Beefaroo fast food restaurant in Rose City. And we passed the site plan. It's just a site plan. The zoning is already there for it. And we just reviewed a letter from Cummings Township in Oscoda County that's redoing their master plan. So pretty uneventful night. No lynch mobs there
What
this
did,
time.
what did they approve in Mills?
A zoning change from B3 commercial to agricultural to allow
Oh,
a building to be used as a duplex home residential.
yeah, I got that up for sale. Was that it?
That's it.
I wasn't at the last meeting because I was working at the hospital, so I attended, I got mine, I'll be as short as quick as possible, but I attended the village. They did not have a quorum there, so unfortunately, they were not able to have a meeting. They're really struggling with that. We talked a little bit about that last time. Their ordinance officer was there in attendance, but unfortunately, nothing could be done because they didn't have a full board there, so not really sure what they're gonna do. They briefly discussed it. If they may go back to the township, because two of them are retiring from the board. And they're really having a hard time getting anybody that wants to sit on the board. So I don't know, there'll be more to come on that, which is really sad because they do a lot. They do just as much or more than townships. And then they've got that water treatment plant out there as well. So Mary had sent me some information for some grants and then I did forward that. So I appreciate that. Attended Mills Township, they talked a little bit about their ARPA funds and possibly putting in utilizing some of it for a park there at Skidway Lake. The Lapham gentleman was there and wasn't really prepared for the meeting, but did do a brief information on what they could do and the amount of money, which I believe totaled like, I don't know, $200,000 or $400,000. It was a lot, but it was pretty extensive is what he was proposing. They also talked a little bit about roads. The road commission was there. They're getting some work done on their roads over there. Richland Township, they talked about the campground. The campground's going over very, very well this year. They put in some more electric spots. They've been full quite a bit. Everything runs pretty smoothly. Talked a little bit about the election over there. Logan Township, they're also getting some road work done. They have some issues right now about a special assessment for Stiles Lake and weed patrol, and there's a petition going on, and there'll be more to come on that as well. Fair board, they're getting ready for fair. That's pretty much it. Financially, I gave them an update, told them that they're still on our ARPA funds wish list, and there'd be more information to come on that. They lost a fair board member, Mary Fox, who was here at our meetings. Huge hit for that fair board, a wonderful lady that did a lot. They lost her unexpectedly here a couple weeks back. EDC, they talked about the business expo, which already took place, revolving loan fund. And then I have a Michigan Works meeting tomorrow morning. So that was my month. I think that was it. Item 14, general public comment. This is on any agenda items. Same rules apply. Is there any public comment? Any public comment on the phone? No public comment. Go ahead.
Commissioner David, sorry.
Yes.
This is Julie Darton from MSU Extension. I was just wondering about the special budget meeting, what the time was on the 12th.
10 a.m.
Thank you so much.
Any other public comment? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
Support. We have a motion to support. Adjourn. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 6:20.
This is what Michael has to. What we're.
So if you're gonna be.